Tomfoolery is an aspiring Destiny orbiter, and this is continued on past all of the leaks being blown up and everybody realizing what a terrible person Destiny is. Obviously, lots of people felt that beforehand, but pretty much everybody is in agreement nowadays, except for Tomfoolery.
But like, let's say they're not aware. Let's say they're not aware. Let's say that you have security cameras in your house, but they just didn't even know that they were there. They had no idea that the security cameras were there. They didn't notice them. Like, so what? Like, get over it. Like, it's their fucking house. Like, I don't know. I feel like people recording shit inside of their own house is just not it's not a bad thing. And I personally have said over and over, I don't have a problem with people recording things.
I don't understand what is the point of defending this, right? We know Destiny has done something more egregious than simply recording people without their knowledge. He spread that stuff around. So I just don't understand the mentality in taking one little piece of what Destiny's done and defending that. But what is the point in all of that? And besides that, if somebody has like a Ring doorbell camera or whatever, sure, I think most people wouldn't think much about that. But if you're hanging out at a friend's house and then you notice a camera, like, wait, are we being recorded? And your friend's like, oh yeah, I got cameras in every room of the house, just in case. You never know when you might need to go back and review what happened or share it with people. Just covering my bases. I think most people would be thinking, I think I'm gonna head home. Yeah, I think I'm good hanging out at your place. It doesn't even necessarily need to be anything malicious going on there. It's just weird, right? And this is even when people understand. When you go out in public, or you're walking past the bank, yeah, you're on camera. Everybody gets that. But taking it into the inside of your home, pretty weird. Pretty weird.
In private at all. I don't have a problem with it. I don't like if you record like Discord calls or phone calls or anything like that. I don't have a problem with it. I have a problem with people leaking it. Hard to say. I'll tell you.
Yeah, well, that's what happened.
Just like what was represented, because I'm friends with Lauren and I like Lauren, so I don't want to represent this in like a super negative light.
From what I've heard, Lauren hates this guy. I don't have anything concrete on that, but from what I've heard, she hates him because the guy who uploaded this video, Ryle, he did another video about it, and he says that basically Tom just completely lied. They were having an argument about something, and he had one position, and then Lauren kind of proved him wrong, and he just pretended like he agreed with her the whole time. So, pretty sure they are not friends. He maybe would like to be friends with her, but I don't think they actually are friends.
But her and Destiny were dating for a while, and then she came out and started saying she hates him. She hates Destiny. She'll never talk to him again. He is a horrible person. And then she, like, within like a week or two, she was on like 4 different streams talking about him, and she would just throw in little random things like, he's such a horrible person. He records people without their consent. He records people without their consent. Did you know that? That is so disgusting. He could literally go to jail for that. That is illegal. That is illegal. And in Florida, that is a 2-party consent state. He can literally get arrested for that. And so like she kept saying stuff like that. That kept making.
Is that random, or is that something that most people would want to talk about if they found out their friend or someone they were potentially dating? Right? If you found that out, I think most people would want to talk. It doesn't seem that random to me.
Making him like sound like he was doing something ridiculously bad. And so then Destiny came out finally, after like she kept saying things. He finally came out and said, look, I was dating her for a little bit. She wanted to like have like a real relationship, and I didn't. And she wanted to like keep getting closer and closer. I didn't. And so he like leaked DMs and kind of showed everything, and then just said like, yeah, like I was not interested in this relationship. And so once I cut her off, she went full like jealous ex-lover mode and started saying horrible things about me all over the place. And it seems like she's just locked on to like me recording people without their consent. But that's because there was like a time when a bunch of people, I'm pretty sure, were lying about me and saying stuff, and so I just like hit record. I think it was on his computer, it might have been on his phone, but he hit record on something and walked out of the room inside of his own house, and then he came back and got it and found that yes, the people who were there were lying about him, and so he clipped the parts where they were lying about him and talking shit about other people, and then he would even send the clips of them talking shit about other people to those other people and be like, look, they were talking shit about
you. Yeah, and before it, everybody realized that he was sharing stuff besides that, or he was sharing intimate videos and audios of people. It's pretty clear this was a manipulation. He was spinning it, right? Beforehand, people might have been kind of, okay, I guess that makes sense. She must be a crazy scorned ex-lover. But pretty obvious that's not the case anymore. So why are we sitting here repeating his arguments?
you. And so yeah, she made like a huge deal about this recording without consent thing. Where a lot of people, they heard it and they assumed this was sexual. Obviously, their first assumption was that it had something to do with sex, but it turned out it didn't. It had nothing to do with sex. And so yeah, his claim is that yes, she just went full jealous ex-lover. I never heard a response from her. She immediately disappeared for a long time. And when we did hear from her again, she was here talking to me about, like, we had a debate here about the education department or something like that, and she came in super aggressive, which I don't know what happened, because like we were friendly at first when she first came on, but I think she might have been a little drunk, so I don't know how to like take what happened on that day, because
Yeah, it must be that she was drunk. It's not that you're awful.
I wasn't sure like if I did something that now she like really like hates me for, or she's MAGA. Yeah, sure, but also like yeah, I was talking a lot of shit about MAGA that night, and it totally makes sense if yeah, she just got offended by what I was saying, and so it wasn't because yeah, I was definitely being a dick and kind of baiting the MAGA head. So possibly on his secret home security setup that he may or may not have with spy cameras and mics. I'm making this up. I know.
Like he wasn't just repeating those arguments to then knock them down. He's just repeating them and moving on. That's good enough.
Yes, when I say that, like when I bring up like the security camera stuff, I'm saying that if you have security cameras or like nanny cams and stuff like that inside of your house, like these are things that we all think of as normal. These are things that we all think of as like a perfectly.
You know what comes along with a nanny cam being seen as normal? A baby, right? Yeah, if you have a baby monitor in the room where a baby sleeps, then it makes sense. If you just have hidden baby monitors all over your house, people are going to be weirded out by that.
Normal thing within society. Like this isn't something that we would think like, oh, we found out that you were recording people with your security cameras in your house and you didn't get consent first to do that. Like we would say like, no, of course, like it's your own fucking house. Yeah, you can record people on your security cameras if you want to. But then when we all of a sudden say, oh no, they recorded them with their phone or they recorded them with their computer, now all of a sudden people get upset about it and they think of it very differently. And so I just bring up the security camera things to say, I don't think this is different. I don't think this is different at all. And I think that people getting upset about recording.
You really don't think it's different that something like a security camera or a baby monitor has a purpose outside of just recording innocent people not doing anything, right? The context of what these are for is completely different. That's why people feel differently about it.
People without their consent. I just think it's kind of weird because there are so many other types of recording people without their consent on your own property that we would all have no problem with. And so I'm just normally people are aware of security cameras. Well, that's why I also said nanny cams as well. But like, let's say they're not aware. Let's say they're not aware. Let's say that you have security cameras in your house, but they just didn't even know that they were there. They had no idea that the security cameras were there. They didn't notice them. Like, so what? Like, get over it. Like, it's their fucking house. Like, I don't know. I feel like people recording shit inside of their own house is just not it's not a bad thing. And I personally have said over and over, I don't have a problem with people recording things in private at all. I don't have a problem with it. I don't like if you record like Discord calls or phone calls or anything like that. I don't have a problem with it. I have a problem with people leaking it.
Technically, if somebody comes into my house and I've got a camera set up in their bedroom and I just want to like jerk off to them when they sleep because I think they're hot, like there's not really a victim there if I don't share the videos with anybody, if I just jerk off to it. But like I think the vast majority of people would be incredibly uncomfortable with that.
That's what I have a problem.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of an understatement.
If you go and post it publicly, I think that's a really fucked up thing to do. And
it's crazy watching some of these clips now that we know more about Destiny, and it's, man, feels like maybe we should have caught on to this a little bit earlier, because he says some truly unhinged stuff, and then once you know that he's running around secretly recording and leaking stuff, it's like, wow, he's being kind of blatant about it.
I don't think that I think that yes, like at that point, like you could get sued if you don't have a reason to leak those things publicly. You can obviously get sued, and obviously, I have leaked recordings that I've had of people privately because they were lying about me. That like I was able to just come out with recordings that I took of us to prove that they were lying over and over and over, so that so that I can protect myself and. But I've never leaked things unnecessarily. I've never leaked things without evidence. I've talked about the fact that I was on call.
Okay, so why are we talking about this when we're talking about Destiny, who unnecessarily leaked things way more intimate than conversations?
A call with Not So Erudite a while ago, and while we were on the call, she said, "Are you recording this?" And I was like, "Why?" She's like, "Because if you're not, you're a fucking retard. You should be recording every call you have with people." I was like, oh yeah, no, yeah.
It's crazy how doing this content creation stuff just breaks people's brains like that, right? I understand a lot of people do record their conversations with other dudes. That's why do you want to do anything with these people, right? Just be an island and do your content. Why do you want to get involved with these people who have such a high probability of being degenerate freaks that you can't trust? Just keep to yourself.
Yes. No, I'm definitely recording this. Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, I'm definitely recording this call.
And then he like tries to giga chat it. We're like, oh, yep, yeah, I'm definitely recording it. But earlier, when when he was talking about his initial response, he's like, why do you ask? What? Okay, seems like you weren't really owning it at first. You weren't giga chatting through it, but now you want to pretend like you were.
Yeah, definitely. One of the problems though is that like you guys know how I mute myself all the time on here on accident, or like I turn down my volume, or I do this on recorded calls all the time too. They all have the worst fucking audio because I'm like my audio's going up and down, or I put myself on the wrong mic, or I fuck up the recordings all the time because yes, it just I can't keep it simple. But even with things like a mod, like saying that they're probably going to quit, right? This is a normal thing with a lot of businesses where like whenever somebody was going to quit or we had to fire somebody, we were supposed to record those calls just for like protection of for the company. And so yes, even.
And you know what they do in those cases? They say this conversation will be recorded for performance review and legal liability or whatever. They're very clear about it being recorded in those situations.
I started doing this with mods and with like editors and like people who worked for me, is that like yes, if I had to let them go or I knew that they were going to quit or something like that, or I thought they might quit, I thought, okay, I got to go have a really hard conversation with them today, and they may be quitting after I say this to them, and so I'm going to go ahead and just record this call just in case. Like, yeah, I've done that a ton of times, but it's not for like any sort of malicious reason. And I think that over the course of 6 years of streaming, I have proven that I am not doing these things in any sort of malicious behavior, considering the fact that I just leaked things for the first time within this last year. That like, it was the first time I've ever leaked anything, and it was just Yeah, it was only after the other people lied over and over and over and over and over and over for like 6 months straight. Then eventually I was like, okay, I gotta shut this motherfucker up. But yeah, I think that I've shown that like I'm more than like responsible with these things, and that there's not even other people who are running around like with Sass. Like she kept sharing our DMs with a ton of different people, and then it turns out like almost all of those people that she shared our DMs with went and like shared them with literally everybody else, to the point that literally everybody had our DMs, and they were like holding on to our DMs like a fucking nuke that they were pretending they were going to drop at some point. And then it turns out everybody's like, we already have them. Like, there's nothing here. This actually makes you look horrible. Like, this makes you guys look fucking horrible. So there's nothing here. You guys lost all your leverage by showing these to so many people, because now they're everywhere. And now everybody knows you don't have any leverage. So, like, there was a day that I think Ryle was on here, and he said that it was Ryle and some like Russian chick, and she said something like, well, did you not know that that girl liked you? Was she not? Did she never say anything to make you think that she liked you? And I was like, no, not really. Like, not like consistently. And she's like, no, I saw DMs where she said something X, Y, and Z. And Ryle was like, yeah, no, that was only in the last like month or two. He's like, I've seen all the DMs.
Okay. Well, good for him defending Destiny. I'm sure Destiny will give him a career now, and will be just great for Tom. So here's another Destiny orbiter, Lav Loon. This is actually the person who revealed that Destiny was into felching months ago before all the leaks came out. She shared some text on Twitter where he was admitting that he was a fan of removing the secretions of another man from a woman via his mouth. But she's insane. She's a very insane person.
Well, I was banned from Jstk yesterday, guys, for revenge pornography. I am a revenge pornographer. I was banned for the 50th time. Yeah. Let me tell you what happened. Here's the first thing. Here's the first thing. Is that Jstk already knew about this before yesterday. We talked about it slightly. And he said that, it was different to what Destiny did, but it was, like, still bad, and so he didn't want me on stream talking about the Destiny allegations anymore. I was like, you know what? I get it. Whatever. Like, I get it. Like,
Yeah, it might not be a good look to have, somebody who released Revenge Prawn coming onto your stream to talk about how bad it is that somebody else released Revenge Prawn. Yeah, probably a good call on Jstok's part.
Whatever. Even though it's, like, completely different than what Steven did. It, like, I don't want to... It's, like, bad optics to, like, have me on talking about it. Even though I never was, like, a voice for the victims of Steven. Ever. I've made it very clear I'm just happy that people are hating on him because he's a piece of shit. I also think Pixie did... Cherry's obviously, like, the most clear victim in all of this. I think that is... I mean, so is Pixie. Pixie's obviously a victim as well, but... what I mean...
But first, you needed to tell everybody that she's regarded. That was more important than saying she's a victim.
To say is, like, obviously criminal activity takes precedence, but I haven't been a voice for Cherry by any means. I think I, like, have shown her support publicly because that's what you do when someone comes out with a story like this, right? So I, like, completely understand that JSTLK, said that I couldn't come on during streams like that. Not a big deal. And then yesterday, an attack was levied against me. Just kidding, it wasn't levied against me. This is what happened. Steven not an affair. Steven had sexual contact with one of the JSTLK regulars named Baby Peach, who's like a very deranged, very mentally ill girl. Maybe not deranged. I won't be rude. Baby Peach is a very mentally ill girl. Had threatened to kill herself and leaked a bunch of stuff, like very, like about other people in the Discord. Like just constantly, there was always like a new thing. And then this other user, Nico Sam, sent me that they had a sex tape that leaked. Didn't send me the sex tape, but was like, this leaked. And I was like, oh, that's fucking hilarious. Like, so you've seen his weenie too. Like, you know. Because for the longest time, when I, like, made fun of Steven, he'd say I was lying about his wiener. And I'd be like, no, like, I can describe it to a T. Like, it's gross and you, like... It's like medical journal level bad. And he'd be like, she's lying about my it's 7 inches, or he said it's like 6.5, 7 inches, and it's not, like, there's nothing wrong with it or whatever.
It really is crazy that these are the sorts of people Destiny surrounded himself with, and it took this long for his reputation to tank. I mean, how? Honestly, how did he hang out with these types of people day in and day out for years, and it took this long for it to blow up in his face?
Clear lie, but he lies all the time. So when this act came out, I was like, I had told Nico Sam, like, oh god, like, send it to me. Because I like wanted, it was like validating to have proof that like I wasn't like lying about his wiener, right? Because he never like sent me videos of his penis, right? Like I was never one of the girls that he had like an ongoing sexual relationship with, like ever. So I like didn't have like a lot of like, I had no like proof of this. Not that I was like, not that I would like send it around, but like to show like, you know, like my friends who I'm like, you know, who I've talked to.
I wouldn't send it around, I would just show it to specific people, you know? Okay, so like Destiny did, right?
About it and be like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, of course I like want that, you know what I mean? Because it's like, it's so
Of course you want that.
funny. Unfortunately. Sorry, I think that's funny. Sorry, I think it's funny that he has like a gross little dick and that's why he's a sex pest. I think it's funny. Anyway, so Nico Sam sent me just a screenshot of his wiener. Yeah, he wants people to see too. Yeah, obviously. It's hilarious, in fact. Yeah, I think it's funny too. I think it's funny that like the most disgusting guy online who like has tried to make my life a living hell for 2 years has like a disgustingness and it's leaked everywhere, right? So I was even like, you know, don't get caught leaking it. Like, but obviously it's advantageous if it gets leaked. Like, obviously I want bad things to happen to this guy. And then I made a screenshot of the screenshot, or sorry, I made the screenshot that Nico Sam sent me, like a grab of just the top of his foreskin, so that you couldn't tell if it was like, you couldn't tell what the picture was. My profile picture in a private Discord server. Now, there's like debate about like how private a Discord server is, right? It had maybe 20 active users, and none of them were like DGGers. It wasn't like a DGGer offshoot server. It was like, and I never said that it was like, I mean,
So why did you want these people to, they have nothing to do with Destiny, and you thought they would appreciate this profile picture of his appendage?
my friends knew that it was Destiny penis because I told them that it was, but it wasn't like widely known that I was like leaking this, right? It was just very funny because also to my knowledge it had already been leaked. Baby Peach, to my knowledge, Nico Sam had told me that Baby Peach had sent it to several people and that the sex tape was already leaked. So I just didn't. It was
Who cares if it's already been leaked, right? It's it's still bad for you to further leak it, right? Like now that the all of the videos are up on Kiwi Farms and stuff like that, if Destiny just showed them on his stream and stuff, wouldn't that make it even worse? I think pretty obviously, yeah, it would.
I was under no like I was under no. I did not think that like this was something that like he didn't want going around because he gave it to Baby Peach, who like obviously was going to send it to people. Like I said, Baby Peach is like very, very, very deranged. Anyway, not deranged. She's not
Doesn't want to be rude, but she's gonna multiple times call her deranged. It's like, yeah, you can correct yourself after, but especially once you do it twice, really it doesn't amount to much that you walk it back afterwards, right? I think most people are going to think, oh, that's her real opinion about this person is that they're deranged.
not deranged. She's very mentally ill. I would not trust someone like that with my nude photos. So I thought he must be very comfortable. Also, Steven wants to send his penis to everyone. So I'm like, I don't, whatever. Obviously, it takes like several videos of it. I was under no understanding that this was something that like couldn't get out, that this was like revenge pornography. I thought it was hilarious that it had leaked and that what I was saying was obviously true, was that his penis was like medical journal bad. Anyway, yesterday he said that in an attempt to get attention away from the things that he did to those women, he said that I had created a server with Kelly Jean to leak his porn, which just unequivocally not true, and I don't even know where that comes from. I created a server called Padded Walls, which I think people still have access to. I don't because I lost my last account, probably for saying bad words. But it was for my stream. Padded Walls was like for my stream. It was like my streaming Discord. It was not like revenge porn for Steven Discord. Like very deranged. And then he said that it was
Sure, yeah, Destiny's a line manipulator. I'm totally willing to believe that he would make things sound worse than they are to try and garner sympathy for himself. Sure.
actual revenge porn what I did, which like is not true. I don't think that making your profile picture in like a server that is like not an offshoot of like the community or anything, and you have like your IRL friends that you hang out with, I don't think that that's like the same thing as what he did like at all. And also, Steven
Okay, yeah, they're not the same. That's right, but I would say yours still rises to the level of being a scumbag.
Made my life a living hell, lied about everything about me for 2 years. Lied about what we did, lied about what I said. No proof for any of his allegations, by the way. Like, no proof. People, like, he just says something and people believe it. But then when I say something, I have to show, like, exact proof. And it can't be, like, even a little bit questionable. Like, it can't be even a little bit questionable. But he doesn't need proof for anything. It's very deranged. Anyway, none of what even. Also,
Yeah, I mean that's what's just so annoying about every person with a significant following is they can just say things and their fans will believe it, and you can sit here and show them proof that shows otherwise, and all they do is just get mad and say screw you. It doesn't do anything to change most of their minds. Some of the people are open to it, but a lot of them they would take their streamer or their YouTuber at their word versus evidence from somebody else.
me being a bad person, even if I literally leaked everything, even if I was the leaker, even if I was the Kiwi Farms leaker and I leaked everything, it would not change that he illegally recorded Cherry or that he sent Pixie's recordings away. You know what I mean? So it's just like this. It's a weird.
Yeah, obviously. I don't think there's anything that could come out that would make me think, oh, you know what, Dustin, yeah, he's all right, actually. I think I misjudged him. I was too harsh. He seems like an all right guy. But that doesn't make you not terrible either.
Tactic, and he's still just lying. He's still just lying. But anyway, that's why I got banned from JSTLK. Which is weird. I got an indefinite ban even though JSTLK and I had already talked about it, and he just said that he didn't want me on stream. So that's the tea. That's really all the tea. Any questions? Funky boss, cry face. Good stream, thanks. I miss T. Yeah, of course he has to save face. He's a little fucking sex pervert freak. You know, it's still funny. He talks about me so much, it's like pathological. It's pathological. Like, how are people not realizing how obsessed with me?
Yeah, but you're also doing a stream on him, right? And I don't know who started it or any of that, but like, if you want somebody to never talk about you on stream, you probably have to not respond to them and talk about them on stream. Otherwise, you're just going to get into this cycle going back and forth. And at some point, if you want it to stop, you have to disengage. You know, even if you're getting totally screwed over and the other person's totally in the wrong, just practically speaking, if you want them to stop talking, you probably have to disengage. And if they keep doing it after that, I mean, some people will. I don't know what you do then, right? But at the very least, if you actually want it to stop, probably disengage.
Me he is. Like, what are you why are you still saying lav bad when you're being accused of a crime? Like, it's like sad. It's actually sad. Maybe he loves me. No, I think it's because I never let him have sex with me. I was like, I think I'm like the forbidden fruit. I'm like the one girl who was like, no, you're gross. And also,
I've heard a few women say that now, though.
I remember when we got on that fight because I called him a cheese boy. I called him a cheese boy, and then someone sent it back to him that I was making fun of him. And he got really mad at me and called me a manipulative bitch on stream. And then I told Big Tech that I didn't do anything to him, but that he did something to me, and so he got mad. So obviously he got mad that I cooked him. He got mad that I'm like, I mess with his ego or whatever, which, like, whatever, I get. He's like, it would, you know, whatever. I get that. But still, it's just like, the way that he painted me for years, guys, I'm like a normal person. I mean, maybe normal isn't the right word. Am I like a little, am I edgy? Ooh, do I like to make edgy jokes? Am I a little autistic? Am I a little aggressive? Absolutely. But in no world am I like a crazy.
That I'm pretty sure she's just stealing that from Destiny. Like, oh, I'm autistic. Okay, right. Let's not let's not do that. Or maybe it's Vosh that I'm thinking of. I don't know. Either way, it's an annoying thing that these people do where it's like just basically hand wave all of their behavior by saying, "Oh, I'm autistic."
The BPD girl who's like obsessed with him. It is very say you're normal again with a straight face. I'm normal. I'm normal. Maybe
She literally can't do it. Both of those times, she chuckled one of them and then smirked at the end of the other.
I'm not completely normal, but I'm definitely not like the severely mentally ill head case that he's like painted me to be. That like is like a what does he call me? A pathological liar? Yeah, like a pathological liar. Or like I'm not this like evil.
Yeah, well, that's kind of one of Destiny's main things is to make all the people that he interacted with seem as crazy as possible, unless they stay completely in line and be good little DGG soldiers. So, Yeah, that's kind of one of his go-to moves is the, the make people out to be crazy.
Supervillain. I've reacted to a lot of the shit that he's done. Like when he said that I had told him that my ex-husband was like not like good at sex or something. Like I never ever said that to him. And then he threatened to release like a call where there was proof that I said it, which obviously didn't exist. And I remember being like, okay, release it. And then he just didn't. Do you guys remember that? He like just didn't. But then people still believed him. It was like so deranged.
Oh, I don't know if I'm remembering the same conversation. The reason to me that it seemed like maybe you did say that is because you were like absurdly over the top defensive. But that's not to say that it's true or whatever. It's just the way that you reacted lended credibility to him saying that.
He like was bluffing so bad. It was just like he did shit like that all the time. Or like the way that Not So Erudite used to gaslight the fuck out of me was like, you need to leave the internet. And I was like, what if I don't need to leave the internet and Steven just needs to like stop making shit up about me? Like what if I actually don't need to leave the internet at all? Since being like removed from like the Destiny sphere, I've had like such a normal time on the internet. I've like not had a breakdown. I've not cried on the internet. Like I've had a very normal time on the internet. I did not need to leave the internet. Steven needed to like stop harassing me and using his means to harass me. Also, he wants to talk about revenge porn. He literally directed to my Kiwi Farms, which had my address, which had my docs. And he called me mid-juicy. But I can't laugh at how gross.
It is funny that there are various times in the past where Destiny has encouraged people to go to Kiwi Farms, but now that he's being exposed and made fun of on there, oh, they're evil, and they need to be stopped. Very convenient how often that same thing Nick Rekieta did. Same exact thing.
Your dick is publicly. You called me mid-juicy publicly for like what a year or two, but I can't make your disgusting foreskin my profile picture in a private account. Give me a fucking break, dude. Moral high ground. Holy shit. What a fucking, Destiny is like the rare BPD male. I mean, it's not that rare, but I would bet money on him having borderline personality disorder. He is such a victim. You know what I mean?
I don't understand how women do this. Having this stuff right in your eyes like that makes me so anxious. I don't know how you do it. That's why I'll never wear contacts. I'm just sticking with glasses. I'm not getting anywhere near my eyeballs.
It's just that Jstk is a little bitch. Yeah, Jstk is a little bitch. I remember when I mean, listen, I'm glad that Jstk finally came around. I do worry for Jstk. I don't think that I think he's going a little bit too hard on the moral high ground shit and him being like he's like a drama streamer, and he needs to keep being a drama streamer and not like a moral high ground streamer. Because you're just gonna lose the plot, you know what I mean? And then you're always held to the standard of like, you need to do exactly what, like, you just need to report on like the things that are happening. You can't be like the guy, you know what I mean? You can't be a superhero. JSTOK.
Yeah, I can kind of get that. So it does seem like he's kind of going overboard sometimes, especially considering he was so closely associated to Destiny. But I can also kind of understand the mentality where it's like he's defended Destiny in the past, probably feels pretty bad about it, and so he's overcorrecting somewhat.
He's doing the right thing. I don't think Lav should have been kicked from the Discord, though. No, I think he's doing the right thing from like a moral standpoint. Like, I agree with you. I wouldn't say that he's a bad guy. I'm just saying that, like, business-wise, I don't think that, like, he's making the right choices to go balls to the wall against Destiny in the way that he's going. I don't think he needs to be the voice for the victims. I think that Destiny's already done enough damage to his reputation himself. I don't think that, like, JSTLK needs to, like, debate people about what Destiny did was wrong. You're not going to change anyone's mind. If they see what's on the table and it's that, like, he's done what he's done, and they don't change his, and these fans don't change their minds, like, nothing's going to. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to be the anti-Destiny streamer. You should just be, like, you should just cover what's happening. Cover what's happening, cover Destiny embarrassing himself, you know, cover stuff like that. Laugh about it, like, you know what I mean? He has involved himself way too much, but I still like him. Yeah, I agree. I think that he has involved himself way too much. He heard the Cherry audio, though. Yeah, I guess that's true. He has positioned himself because he's the only one that, like, has, heard that. And because, you know, him and Cherry are, like, at least friends to that extent. So I understand that, but I still think, I think hearing the audio changed him. Yeah, obviously it did. I still just think that he might be doing just a little too much. Not that I have, I also have a vested interest because I like being in that Discord, and he's obviously removed me from it, so. But even without that fact, I think he's just doing a little bit too much. And I think now, he just, I watch a JSTLK stream, and it's either, like, interesting Destiny drama, or, like, the most boring video gameplay you've ever seen in your life, you know what I mean? I think he needs to sort of diversify. I think that having, like, me on brings him views, and that's an advantageous relationship.
I think he needs to diversify. He needs to do more content with and about me. No, I think that would be really good for his career.
Both of us. I think that, like, having, like, Kelly Jean on, or having, like, figures, or Darius, or having figures that are, like, more controversial in there for, like, just drama and stuff is going to get him more views long-term and is better for his business. What he's doing right now is just sort of isolating him off from a lot of money, which is fine, I guess, but was there a specific thing he did that you thought was too much? I just think that his, kind of constant involvement in this and then becoming, like, the guy about it is just not gonna be good for him. He's protective like a big brother. Wow. He's a Taurus. Darius hates his guts. Yeah, Darius is a silly one. Darius scares the fuck out of me. Yeah, he gets a lot of really good guests on. His panels are really good. Yeah, but not anymore because I'm not there anymore, so. I enjoyed exposing the Destiny drones and cult-like behavior. Yeah. Darius hates you now too. Why, Snow Lucille? Lucille. Do you guys see my big bear? I put a jacket on him. I didn't even read Destiny's whole statement about me. I just read the part that was sent to me with me and Kelly. Did he release more than just the paragraph? What did it say? Where is it? Did he release more than this? Or was that it? One, of course, there are different vulture communities who have zero concern for any of the negatively affected parties who are just looking to try and destroy me or farm content. Oh no, why would anyone try to destroy you? Why would anyone try to destroy you after you have been found to try to destroy people literally every single fucking day of your career, and also you're the worst person ever, and also you've happily done the same thing to other people. You've been happy to jump on that he was so tired when we met up that I forced him to get an energy drink so that we could hook up. Okay, Big Hoss. Who in their fucking right mind? Like, I get that he was mad that I called him a cheese boy and that I told Big Tech that he was sad after I didn't let him fuck me and that, like, made him upset or something. In no fucking world. In no fucking world, one, was it ever on the table that his penis would go anywhere near my body. But also, like, what are you saying? The only reason we met up is because you wanted to worship my feet. In what world am I forcing you to hook up with me? I'm forcing you to, like, holy shit. Just very deranged. But people believed that. Whatever. Of course it's fucking true. Of course it's not true. Are you kidding me? The fuck is it about feet? Sorry, I am.
No. Shoot, I forgot about the timestamp. Whoa, Jesus. Okay. Throw this up there. Okay.
Fucking true. Of course it's not true. Are you kidding me? The fuck is it about feet? Sorry, I am actually supposed to have them on camera. Does he hate women?
No, you're not.
I think he hates himself. And I think he's addicted to women. I also think that he really does like, he has that cum-eating fetish. I think that he liked his relationship, I think, especially in regards to me, was interesting because he liked that I humiliated him. I think he found it sexually appealing that I humiliated him and wouldn't let him have access to my body. But then also, it made him very resentful because of the way I talked about him in private, and that became public to Big Tech and to whoever the person was. I called him a cheese boy, too. I don't remember who I said that to. I think I actually just said it in a server. Yeah, I think he did the same thing with Anna. I think he does this thing where he, like, puts women into, like, dominatrix positions, or there's two things that he does. He also, there's, like, submissive women who, like Pixie, obviously, who, like, do whatever. But I think his biggest, like, gripe is with women who, like, kind of put him under them, so to speak, no pun intended, and then gets so resentful of it that he, like, wants to humiliate them in public. He wants to have this relationship where, like, you guys are just humiliating each other constantly. And I was not interested in that, ever. I'll tell you the truth. A lot of people say that, like, think...
Are we done with that? I can't remember. I'm just gonna keep it up for a little bit, just in case.
I did not have the relationship with Steven that all of these women had. Like, we were not exchanging nude photos. We were not, like, he offered to send me videos of him and Melina, at the very, very beginning. I said, no, I didn't want that. And, then I, like, sent him pictures of my feet. That's, like, as far as it went, and then we met up in public, and everyone knows what happened. We did not have sex. I did not let him I did not let that thing anywhere near me. And then when I said that, he got mad. But there was no, like, ongoing, like, sexual relationship. It was, like, kind of flirty, but for me, I really just thought that was like me earning my keep. He was giving me this like platform, and I was like, okay, like this is it. Like, this is what I have to do. But it was very non-committal. But
Oh, that's pretty bad. I thought that's what I had to do to be in the Destiny orbit and get some clout off of him. Well, it seems like there was probably some merit to that. Yeah, it seems like he was trying to get favors from women, and in return, he'd give them some time on his stream.
I guess he like really was just having like a harem. And that's why, like, I mean, that's why I came forward and was like, I don't like this. I don't like that you're sleeping with everyone, and I don't like the way that you treat these women. You know what I mean? And then everyone was like, no, you're wrong. But I wasn't wrong. I was right. So I'm miserable. Wait, are you single now? No, I'm happily in love, Jerko. I'm happily in love. I'm talking about old drama. Old drama. Thank God you're circumcised? Yes, no, Lucille. Thank God. He'll be back in 3 months. I'll be pregnant by then, Jerko. See you then. See you then when I'm fat with baby. Am I the only one watching you from Morocco? Probably. Give me a girlfriend then. Jerko, you're gay. You're literally gay. I don't have any trans friends. Sorry. Go on Grindr. Big burly Arab bear. Actually, not even burly. Big chicken-legged bear. Seek actual wife.
I think she's just talking about her boyfriend from there on. So let's take a look at some of these comments in here. There are some good ones. Guys, it's not revenge, but also, Steven was so awful to me, I had to do something. This is actually revenge porn. Well, yeah, pretty much it. Little simp boy Jstk gonna let her back in next week anyways. I don't know, we'll see. Not gonna say I'd be terribly surprised, but we'll see. Do any of these streamers have any real scruples? A bunch of low vibration, scummy people. If Lav were ugly, she wouldn't have a platform. Revenge prawn is only bad when somebody I don't like does it. This one right here. This I felt very much so. Thank God I don't know anyone like this in real life. All right, and at the end of the day, I think that we can all be thankful for that. You just be very glad that we don't have to hang out with the Destiny orbiters or Destiny in real life. Just stick to your family and your friends and just point and laugh at these people from a distance.